Oh, great. Tell me that again.
So at the moment, I have a course.
Yeah.
Involves, it's kind of inform. It works really well. It's great.
Mhm.
And it's for owners of anxious dogs to enjoy relaxed, stress-free walks.
Beautiful.
What I'd like to talk about today is the idea of creating a course or a package or something
Mm.
for anxious dog owners.
Oh yeah. I
See the
got it.
difference?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh God, I love that.
So that's where my mind is
I
going.
went goosebumps. Ha!
What was that?
I went goosebumps. Yeah, just like, oh yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah, go on, keep going.
So yeah, so that's kind of where my mind is going with this, is that what I see oftentimes where dogs have any kind of behavioral issues, actually, um, it's coming from it's not coming from the owner, that's the wrong thing to say, but the owner is experiencing a similar anxious feeling that the dog
Yep.
is feeling. And that's
Yeah.
quite a subtle but really important difference, because what tends to happen in the dog world now is we understand that it's, as a general rule, we understand that it's the owner has some kind of impact.
Yeah.
But then, of course, we immediately go into, well, it's your fault then. Like, if you can't get rid of your anxiety, then the dog is like, that's it. You may as well rehome the dog, which is nonsense. And
Yeah.
so there's something in there around
You've just described it. Keep going.
people that are struggling with anxiety
Yeah.
generally, and I'm not sure who I'm kind of talking to just yet, but
Oh,
possibly.
I've got them in my mind. I
Have
know. I
you?
know.
I'm glad
Yeah.
you
So
do.
yeah. Completely incredible. I know. You're describing him.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's like the anxious person, um and they might see it as the dog is the problem, the dog is causing the anxiety, maybe, or they might realize that actually, they might realize it's coming from within. They might know that already. And so,
I go on. Keep going.
yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. I get like that too. I get overexcited. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was doing
So,
the anxious dog thing for you, like just in case you needed somebody to play that role. I was doing it.
yeah. Um,
Beautiful. Yeah.
so, yeah. So I've kind of got, I guess I'm not really worried about the content of this course or what it's going to look like. Like, that's all there. Like, that's
Mm,
fine.
mm.
I think for me, the sort of sticking block, my blind spot, I guess, is the how, is the yeah. How do I speak to these people, or how do I, yeah, speak to these people, I guess, is my
Cool.
thing. To not so much to get the right people on the course, I'm not really bothered about that. I'm confident that they will come, like it will be the right people that are there. I don't, that's kind of already borne out on my anxious dogs course, so
Yeah, yeah.
that's all ticking along fine, perfectly. Well, not perfectly, but yeah, it's great.
I hear you. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. So that
Mhm.
side of it, I'm not so concerned about. I guess for me, it's about how and where do I start to reach the right people who feel anxious dog owners, basically. That's it. It's that simple.
Yeah. Amazing. I love it. Yeah. I don't think there's anything you need to know really. Like
Yeah. It
it's there. I
feels
mean, everything. If like, I'm so pleased I hit record, because the copy or just the description was the first few minutes.
Mhm.
Like that was it. I mean, I don't really feel any need to say anything, because although you've kind of asked a how question, like you'll answer it the moment you move. You're so in tune with what you're creating. You're so connected to your knowing, which is where it comes from. Whichever direction you move, you'll just move in the right direction. There really isn't. I mean, I can say stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I can say stuff. There's no question about that. You know, even like there's probably a domain name in there. If you know, if you check like SEO, no, I mean Google like search terms, there's probably what people look for who are anxious people who have dogs. And part of the reason they have dogs is because they're anxious people.
Yeah.
That's that part of it. So at some level, they get that. They got it. You're like, yeah, I'm anxious. And they've probably got a bunch of symptoms that go with that. I don't like being on my own. I'm lonely. And you know, there's your context, if you like, for the lived experience. Like just a really close friend of mine, when you said it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
And he kind of gets it, and he kind of gets it impacts the dog, and the dog's overweight and then has to diet, and he goes to the vet, and the vet tells him off. And
yeah, it's such a cycle.
Yeah, totally. And he kind of knows that that's him, and that he's playing that out via dog.
Yeah.
It's such a, wow, man, it's such a, what a beautiful access point to serving people. I'd never ever thought of that. It's amazing. I love it.
Yeah.
Crikey.
It feels right. It feels,
God, yeah, it's amazing.
Feels good. It feels right. It feels good. And
Yeah.
it feels like you say, it's a good access point to start off, because I think oftentimes people will get a dog as the solution.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
And then that creates more non-solution in whatever way that
Exactly.
looks.
Yeah. Innocent avoidance.
Innocent avoidance, and the kind of, I guess, the innocent, what's the word? The innocent sort of victim is often the dog.
Yeah.
Which
It's sort of
wants.
you know, like namaste is the peace in me greets the peace in you, or something like that, isn't it? So this is like victimaste. The victim in me amplifies plays out the victim in you animal.
Yeah.
I'll transfer my uncertainty, my anxiety, my nervousness to you, in the hope that will come back to me as wholeness.
Which obviously it can't.
No, not so much. That's brilliant. Yeah, perfect.
So that's probably where I'm at with regards to starting on the program that I've signed up to, which is really interesting as well, which you could maybe share just now, maybe for others listening as well, is I signed up to it having zero idea what's involved. So, if you can tell me anything, that would be great.
No.
Yeah,
completely.
I have no idea. I just knew that it was what I wanted to do. And then literally this kind of thing has been in the back of my mind probably before I even knew anything about 3Ps, probably like 10 years. And it's been coming out in different forms all the way along. And as soon as I signed up, it was like it just sort of came out in more form, if you know what I mean.
I do. Yeah, no, that's exactly what the program is. I'm not really sure how one describes that any better than you just did, actually. I wrote things down. But if one were to just say, okay, so what is the program? I guess the nearest I could get would be I was going to say container, but I don't even believe that word either. An energetic exchange.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's all it really is. So there's a whole host of people who could be serving in a more expanded, probably more enjoyable, probably more lucrative. So expanded in every sense of the word. If they kind of had, if you imagine throwing a ball, it's useful to have a wall to throw it against, because then it will come back to you. Otherwise, you're just throwing a wall and you've got to walk and fetch it. Throw a ball, rather, you've got to walk and fetch it, come back, and then you can throw it again. The advantage with having a wall is that you can throw the ball and it will come straight back to you. And you can go, oh, ball. I'm getting really good at throwing ball. So ball in this case would just be coaching package. And you've just thrown a ball and the wall threw it back and went, great ball. Really good throw. Amazing. You're a good ball thrower. Throw more balls.
Yeah, just keep doing it.
Yeah, and that's kind of it really. So I think one of the things that, because enough people have had the experience you had to see this in action, and those are the videos that I've been sharing where people go, I really don't know, I've got an idea, and then they articulate the whole thing, and then they go, I really don't know where to start, and they articulate where to start, and then they say, I really don't know what marketing copy or what to write, and then they tell you. So it's burning off that intermittent stage of I really don't know, and just and the idea just coming, and it forms and you execute, and then if you like, the market is your wall. So temporarily I'm the wall until it's just seamless. It's like idea, create, market, feedback, rinse, repeat.
Yeah.
It's that. And then the structure is just straightforward. It's like it's just an amount of time, an amount of meetings. I've got some things that I think are quite interesting because they're just balls that I've thrown.
Yeah.
I just think are interesting to talk about. And everyone will come with their own ball to throw and talk about, and something to work at and work on. Yeah.
Yeah. Should be good.
Yeah. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, it absolutely makes sense. It absolutely makes sense. And I think for me personally, what I would hope to get from the time is, I can't remember, do we meet weekly or 2 weekly
Monthly.
or monthly? So
Yeah.
monthly is like, it's like it's almost like an accountability, like
Yeah.
in a loose word, a loose way, but it's like coming along every month and going and looking for yourself, okay, have I actually done anything over this last month?
Yeah.
As in, have I thrown, how many balls have I thrown at the wall? Have I
Yeah.
actually done
Yeah.
anything?
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
then I guess ascertaining, did I want to throw the same ones or do I want to change them, basically?
Absolutely. Yeah. Am I getting better at throwing? And
Yeah.
if I'm not getting better at throwing, which bit of throwing process is throwing me off throwing my ball?
Yeah.
But you just hit the nail on the head, and it's really, oh, it's just so cool that you've seen it. And I knew you had, because like you signed up in a heartbeat. So the thing that is hard for people to see is that whatever I write on a piece of paper, and to some degree it has relevance, obviously, because you're transacting an amount of money and we're going to appear in a Zoom room together at X intervals. But beyond that, whatever I write on the paper is actually immaterial, because
Yeah.
the program you're going to create is the program you're going to create, the experience you're going to create, and that'll be as different as there are as many people doing it.
Yeah.
And what you require is what you require, and that will be as different as there are the number of people who are doing it. And if people get that, oh, right, so this is my program. I'm effectively putting some digits in Dave's bank account so I can do the thing that I want to do and hold myself accountable, understand more about who I am and how I work, and just get really, really good at being me, doing what I really love. Oh, that's what a program's for. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And really, that's it.
Yeah, so it is really interesting because I think had I not done that, I would still be in the place of thinking, well, I've already got a course for anxious dog owners, for anxious dogs. See, I'm already changed. Anxious dogs, and then I'm going to confuse everybody, and I've got a big story about that, and it's like, well, no, you're maybe just confusing yourself, and also,
Yeah.
you know, like you say, it's just the action, like it's just
Yeah.
putting that out there. And
Yeah.
it's funny how we all just almost, you know, like we prevent ourselves, we give ourselves a story to stop ourselves from doing the thing we want to do,
Yeah.
whatever that story is. That's just my
Yeah.
particular story in this moment. That's what came up in my head. I was like, oh yeah, yeah, but God, yeah, God, have I taken on too much? And God, I might not be able to do two
Yeah.
programs, or well, actually, I've got another one, so three programs.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
what? Stop, Julie. It's fine.
Yeah.
It'll serve the people it needs to serve at the time
Exactly.
that
Yeah.
it happens.
Yeah.
Whenever, yeah,
And yeah, totally, that's it. And like even like what you just said, when you watch the recording back, everything you've just said, you could use as sales copy or marketing copy or description or whatever words work for you. It all points to the same thing
yeah,
because you're describing an honest experience of being human. Like, oh, I thought about this and I've got this and I thought maybe people would get confused. Now somebody will hear that consciously, more likely subconsciously, and some confusion they have about how they're being in different places will fall away because yours did.
yeah.
It just will. That's what happens. It's just pure energetic exchange. As your clarity grows and is amplified, everyone's clarity grows and is amplified. It's inevitable.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
And very cool, and also like, is it that easy? Does it get to be that easy? Or
Exactly.
or how can I make it really complicated and add
Yeah,
all
yeah, totally.
mud
So,
to the
so
wall?
yeah, no, totally. So part of what I wanted to bring, to the world is I just really lucky when I got into business. I just didn't know anything about it, really. That happened to be very useful. And then I just spotted that kind of like remaining in that place is really, really helpful. There's just never any need to really particularly deviate from that place. Because it always sounds like, business is something that they can do. Them,
Yeah.
them,
Oh yeah.
them,
I know
the
them.
ones
I
that,
know them.
yeah, them, everybody knows them, the ones that are doing the things that we'd like to do, but them, they can because they're special and different.
Yeah.
So really it's just dismantling that wall and kind of people waking up and going, wow, gosh, turns out I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a business person. I can make a coaching package. I can do that. I can bring that into the world. I can write things about it. I can have conversations with people. God, this isn't a mystery. What did you just say that? Like, God, can it be that simple?
Yeah.
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 Can we appear to make it more complicated? Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. And that's not a biggie either. That's like a roll of the dice too. It's like, wow, today I've made life a bit more complicated. Okay. I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, I've overthought. Yeah, I guess. And that's really where I see the nothing to do is powerful. It's like when you really see it, it's like, wow, I just did that. That wasn't some other mysterious event from somewhere out there coming to get me to fulfill a story I tell myself about myself. It's like, I created that. I created make it harder than it really is. Okay. I could just perhaps not do that.
Or even just not do it as often would be good.
Yeah, that'd be a nice start. Yeah, why not? Yeah, be like target for quarter 1, do it a bit less often. By quarter 4, never do it again.
Yeah.
And everything in between. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's it. So you really get to explore yourself and your own program and what that would mean, and create that experience for yourself and deliver your own success for yourself. And I'm kind of the wall there with everybody to facilitate that and bounce the ball back, or hold or catch the ball and go, you sure about that ball? Then throw it back. So yeah.
It's good. It should be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Amazing, brilliant, thank you.
And actually,
oh, no,
remind me, when do we start?
September.
September. Cool.
Yeah,